This video has been sponsored by Aki Bento. If you're interested in a monthly subscription box featuring unique anime items, stay tuned to the end of this video for an unboxing. Comedy anime usually have a shtick that'll carry them through the show. For example, Azumanga Daioh. One of the students is a 10-year-old girl. Let's watch typical school stereotypes to react to this random situation. Disclaimer, I'm not mocking Azumanga Daioh, as I believe it's a very good show and it's one of my personal favorites. Don't at me. The Disastrous Life of Psyche K. A school student has psychic powers that can help him with everything, but finds it rather troublesome for he has an extreme case of first world problems. Disclaimer! I actually don't like this show. Moving on. School Rumble. Everyone is practically an idiot, and there's one misunderstanding after another misunderstanding until all the misunderstandings pile up. I'm not even kidding. Let's review this, shall we? Special thanks to Colin Kennett for requesting this review through Patreon. So here's a little story before we watch the review. I swear, I have a point to this. Over a decade ago, Funimation held a contest for artists to draw a 5-page manga story. And not 5 separate pages, just 5 sheets. So you basically had to make a manga chapter that lasted 2.5 pages long. So this was not an easy task. I made a story of 2 fighters dueling for the future of their kingdom, only for it to be a daydream of a student not paying attention in class. Basically the story of my life if you ask all my teachers. Anyways, I entered the competition and surprisingly won the grand prize. A month later, I got a huge package from Funimation carrying a gift card to Best Buy and a special collection issue of School Rumble with the first DVD and manga in a cute tin box. With part of my gift card, I bought the rest of the School Rumble DVDs and decided to marathon the series. However, I got bored with the series and ended up selling the whole thing with the tin can on eBay. Yeah, you heard me right. I didn't like School Rumble when I first watched it, so I ended up selling it. Now that Colin asked me to review this show as his Patreon request, I had to give it a second chance and rewatch the episodes. Did my opinion change after all these years? Well, once I knew what the overall theme was, I actually found myself liking it. School Rumble is... Wait, hold that thought. Anyway, School Rumble is a school comedy with some of the most cliché stories and characters that any school show would have, but given their own quirks and twists. Our leading lady is Tenma Tsukamoto, and she's in love with a high school cutie who's also the weirdest guy in school named Karasuma Oji. Already a nice twist to typical romances, but it gets better. We see a love triangle form as a school thug named Harima Kenji is in love with Tenma, while ignoring the fact that she is not the brightest crayon in the box. As these kids live out their school days facing one event after the other, will Tenma find love with either Harima or Karasuma? Or will hilarity ensue with how many misunderstandings occur that constantly turn these kids' worlds upside down? You probably chose the latter, to which you'd be right. The entire anecdote that makes this anime what it is one misunderstanding creating more misunderstandings. Our characters rely on assumptions that mostly make their situations even worse than it should be. Normally, you just ask people for clarification regarding the awkward situation presented to you. For when you assume, you make an ass of you and me. Seriously, did any of your parents teach you that phrase? Because mine did. But School Rumble wouldn't be what it is when logic ensues. We're here to watch these students make dumb decisions, which then equals hilarity. And that's all you really get from School Rumble, just an array of misunderstandings that keep piling up. Hence why I believe I got bored with the idea at first, since it mostly involved Harima suffering one way or another, and got quite bored with its repetitive humor. It's by no means a perfect comedy, as there are times the jokes can be super predictable depending on which character is involved, while other jokes took me by surprise and got me to laugh. Plus, you can never really tell where the story will go, and that can also be said for both of the endings of season 1 and 2. Without spoiling too much, it's pretty similar to the ending of Clue. You think it'll end one way, but it ends up turning into something completely different, which fits the overall narrative of School Rumble. As this is a show based on misunderstandings, most of the characters have their own quirks and twists on typical stereotypes. Well, most of them. Tenma is like most relatable heroines, where she's not the smartest or prettiest, but the show doesn't really set her up to be special like in most cases. She's clumsy, a flat-out idiot, and super lazy, but she's never really rewarded for acting this way, which is rather refreshing to me. She is who she is, and tends to suffer from her own mistakes, as well as being less appealing to most of the male students. Her leading crush, funny enough, looks like a typical Japanese male student, but with a bowl haircut, and he is really weird. No one else really comments on his weird behavior, but it's pretty funny how the lead is not in love with the dreamiest guy in school, like in most stories similar to this. Harima is the underdog and thug being in love with Tenma, but is trying everything he can to look good for her. Most of the misfortunes happen to him, as of course the one who's trying the hardest falls the hardest. And yet it's pretty interesting to see him unleash his fantasies and desires in a manga he's actually drawing. So he's a thug, trying his best to get the girl, and he's also a manga artist. But so is Kurasama, he too is a manga artist. Because the world of School Rumble hates Harima. This world is pretty much similar to Finding Dory. The world itself treats you badly if you try too hard like Harima and Marlin, but things seem to be a-okay if you don't overthink things and do whatever you want, just like Kurasama and Dory. Disclaimer! I really don't like Finding Dory. Throughout the series, we meet more characters who again have their own quirks and some twists. There's really too many to count, but just know that a good chunk of them are really funny and do things you really wouldn't expect. Except for one of them, and that's Eri Sawachika. She's a typical rich girl tsundere who mistreats Harima because he's a thug, but maybe crushing on him because he does super nice things for her from time to time. But there's really nothing new about her. She's just a typical tsundere. Though I will give her a pearl point for actually standing up for Harima when Tenma assumed the worst out of him due to a giant misunderstanding.
Harima's a jerk. He's coarse, he's violent. But the one thing he's not is a pervert, trust me.
Thank you! Someone finally standing up for Harima because by God, he's gone through enough. If I had to choose one character as my favorite overall, it's Akira Takano. You know how everyone has an anime waifu and husbando? I propose we make an anime best friendo. Akira would be my best friendo, as everything she does is hilarious. She's also one of my favorite scenes in this entire show, and I'm counting both seasons. Harima was looking for his bathing suit, in his birthday suit, when Eri suddenly steps in. Typical tsundere wants to scream and shout pervert, but Harima clumsily enough decides to hold her down and cover her mouth while he's still naked. Genius! Yeah, you know, it's no wonder you get into one crappy situation after another because by God, you're stupid. Just then, Akira steps in to see what's going on. Now, in most cases, the character who sees a naked man grabbing onto a nearly naked woman would assume the worst and possibly call the cops. Instead, we get this.
Wait, don't tell me. You took off your clothes and went to find your swimming trunks. You looked all over, couldn't find them, and then Eri walked in. You tried to explain yourself, she got scared, and your infinite wisdom led us to where we are now. Don't worry, Harima. I don't think you're a pervert, but you are a total screw-up.
By God, she broke the trope. She broke the trope. She actually broke the trope. And I love her. It's official. Akira Takano is my best friendo for life. Overall, I'm glad I gave School Rumble a second chance. Yes, it's relying heavily on its shtick as we witness all these random characters face one misunderstanding after the other, but most of the jokes did make me laugh. The outro and intro songs are really catchy, and I've added them to my music collection. If I had to choose one song that was my favorite, may I refer you to the beginning of this review. Seriously, Scramble grabbed me by that first note, and I love hearing it over and over again. I did watch the series dubbed, and I will say it's pretty damn good. The actors fit their characters and personalities spot on, and I swore for the longest time Harima was Steve Bloom.
There. These things happen to everyone. Except me. That's for laughing at my masterpiece. If there's one thing I hate, it's criticism.
But no, it's actually Brandon Potter, and is by far the best dubbed character in School Rumble. You can watch the subbed episodes on Hulu, and both versions on Funimation's website. DVDs are still available for a rather cheap price on Amazon and eBay if you ever decide to purchase the series. Both seasons were animated by Studio Comet, the studio that also brought you Suzuka, Jewel Pets, and Cute High Earth Defense Club. For what it is and how they animated these over-the-top reactions, I'd say they did a pretty good job with this zany show. It's a quirky comedy that got some laughs out of me, so I'm sure some of you out there would love the series and its peculiar humor. If you're in the mood for a random school comedy full of bizarre characters, then you should definitely check out School Rumble.
I can't read.
Hey! Hey! Don't touch me! Don't touch me!
But it was I, Dio!
Bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle, bicycle, bicycle.
He's looking at it. He's looking at it.
Do you like me? Yes. Definitely. Absolutely.
I rigged it.
But can you do this? There's something on your face. It was pain.
So what year was the Kamakura shogunate first established? Let's see. I know! In 1129, they made a big hunk of meat that was so fun!
She's a bit slow.
Oh, my love.
Right from the moment when I met her, saw her, I said she's gorgeous and I fell. Here in town there's only she who is beautiful as me. So I'm making plans to woo and marry.
I'm Sean Evans, and you're watching Hot Ones.
Once again, this video has been sponsored by Aki Bento. Last month's theme was Universe, and it featured this Super Saiyan God Red form of Goku in a plushie. Look at it, so cute. These playing cards from Neon Genesis Evangelion, Naruto Ramen Noodles. Okay, I gotta eat this. Naruto Shippuden Ramen. Okay. Original flavor. Is it Naruto flavor? Alright, using my Gintama chopsticks. This is gonna be one shonen meal. Pretty tasty. There's also this neat sticker from Black Rock Shooter, this awesome t-shirt that makes Beerus look like a mecha, I think that's Beerus, the Aki Bento Universe button, and this neat mousepad from Black Rock Shooter. Next month's theme will be Fable, and will feature items from ReZero, Konosuba, and Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? If you love any of these titles and would like to have this box, click on the link down below and subscribe to Aki Bento. Thanks again for watching this video. If you wish to keep up to date with Anime America events, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even Tumblr. If you want to support this channel, be sure to click on the notification bell to keep up with our video uploads, as well as liking this video and sharing it on any social media platform you choose. If you wish to support us financially, we have a Patreon page with numerous rewards to fit your budget, as well as sell posters on Sorenvy and t-shirts on Teespring. Don't forget to subscribe to Anime America for more awesome reviews and top 10 lists. We also have a sister channel called Pop Spectrum, where we review anything in pop culture. Thanks again for watching, and stay tuned to Anime America.